Hi, this is Michelle Caskey from Homeschool-Your-Boys.com. Today I would like to talk to you about this really simple technique that I've learned that helps you to decrease the stress in your life. Homeschool moms can have a tendency to feel overwhelmed. There is so much going on around us all the time. We have lessons to prepare, we have kids to take care of, we have homes to try to manage. We have husbands who need us. We have churches who are constantly asking us to volunteer for things. We have sports teams and extracurricular and errands to run and just tons of different things that we need to try to manage in our lives. So it's really easy to understand why we would feel overwhelmed at times. And somehow this time of year seems like it is famous for a time when a lot of us feel like we have too much on our plates and we can feel stressed out. Now, one thing that I've recently learned is that stress isn't actually what happens to us. It is how we respond to what's happening to us. So stress is actually an emotional response to a situation that we're experiencing. For instance, this past weekend, I had a lot of things happen to me that were somewhat overwhelming. We were headed to a basketball tournament for my sons a couple hours away from our house. And we got about halfway, or no, a little bit more than halfway. We got about a half an hour away from our destination. And our car stopped working. So fortunately we were close to a gas station, so we were able to coast into the parking lot, and we were wondering how are we going to get to this basketball tournament, especially because we had a feeling that our transmission had died. So that was one thing that was somewhat overwhelming, having to try to call basketball parents that I don't know super well and ask them for rides, try to get all of our gear from the back of our car into someone else's car, try to make it to the basketball tournament in time for my poor son to play. Then the following morning, the son that was playing in the tournament woke up with the flu. Just kind of a series of events like that. And then the next morning we were home, we were absolutely exhausted, and the shower, my son was taking a shower and the drain was sort of plugged up and the bathtub was filling up with water. And I hate to admit it, but I sort of lost it. I had dealt with this transmission issue, which was going to be super expensive. I had dealt with my son being sick. I had dealt with being driven around by other parents, and not having control of my weekend like I was planning, big things, and had a fairly positive response to it, fairly calm, and then I had something small happen and I blew up. So obviously you can see stress, all of those situations could be seen as being stressful, but actually I didn't feel as much stress until I allowed myself to have that physical reaction. It's something that I just recently learned, is that when we allow ourselves to get stressed out about things, we actually are 230% more likely to have a heart attack. That really hit me. I can't allow myself to have that really negative response to things that are happening in my life. So it's important for all of us to change how we're reacting to what's happening to us. And the way that we can do that is that we need to change our view of what's happening. We need to try to think of the positive aspects of our situation. For instance, with the car, when that died, I started thinking about how we were fortunate that it happened when we were very close to a gas station. I had my cell phone. I had the phone numbers of the other parents so that we could call and get help. Those were things that I was able to think of, and when I thought of those positive things, I didn't freak out. So it's very important for us to think about what's going right. Don't just think about what's going wrong. And one thing that you can do, I've noticed that when I'm feeling like I'm gonna lose it, I've learned this technique. It's called focused breathing. And what it does is that physical reaction that you get from stress, your heart pounding, your breath, your breathing speeds up, your blood pressure goes up, you feel kind of out of control. Those are physical responses that our body is naturally giving us, and we can reverse that with focused breathing. So what you do is you breathe in for 5 seconds. So let's try it. We go breathe in. And then breathe out for 5 seconds. And you do that several times. And while you're doing it, instead of thinking about all the things that are going on that are trying to overwhelm you, you actually try to think about your heart. Think of your heart beating. And you can even put your hands on your heart if that helps you to kind of get your focus onto your heart and out of your head. And then while you're doing your breathing, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, try to think of something that makes you feel positive emotion, a favorite place, a favorite time, something that can help you to feel love or joy, and try to hold that feeling for 20 seconds. This isn't something that has to take all day. It can just be 20 seconds of breathing in, breathing out, and that actually will slow down that physical stress response that your body is trying to force you to have, and it will allow you to get back on top of those feelings and to be able to get control of your response to whatever is going on around you. So anyway, this is the focused breathing is a technique to help try to overcome that overwhelm, and I hope very much that it will help you. It's an easy thing. You may want to print out the steps for giving you or for going through that process, so that the next time you have something happen, that it will help remind you to have a more positive response to whatever is happening around you. And I know it has helped me in the past, and I definitely hope that it will help you. So again, this is Michelle Caskey from Homeschool-Your-Boys.com. I hope you have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.